There are 7 things you only do when you're completely alone. And if you do even 3 of them, your brain is wired in a way psychologists say less than 2% of people will ever experience. I'm not talking about being smart. I'm talking about something rarer, something quieter, something nobody around you has probably ever noticed about you. Until now. Most people think intelligence looks like grades, trophies, big words at dinner parties, the guy who wins every argument on the internet. But here's the uncomfortable truth psychology has been quietly screaming for decades. Real intelligence almost never shows up in public. It hides. It whispers. It works the night shift inside your own head when nobody's clapping, nobody's grading, and nobody's even watching. So if you've ever wondered whether your mind is actually different, not louder, not flashier, just different, these 7 private habits are the answer. Stay until number 7. That one rewires how you see yourself. Number 1. You sit with uncomfortable questions without forcing an answer. The average mind hates uncertainty, the way your body hates holding its breath. It panics, grabs the first half-decent explanation lying around, and slams the case shut. But your brain does something almost unnatural. It just sits there, turning the question over, letting it breathe, refusing to grab the cheap answer just to feel safe. Psychologists call this epistemic patience, and brain scans show it lights up regions most adults never fully activate. If you've ever stayed with a question for days, not because you couldn't answer it, but because you refused to answer it badly, congratulations, you're already doing something extraordinarily rare. And here's the unsettling part. While everyone around you is sprinting toward closure, you're quietly building something they never will. A mind that can hold contradiction without breaking. That's not indecision. That's intellectual gravity. Number 2, you mentally argue against your own beliefs for fun. Most people spend their private thoughts cheering for themselves, replaying arguments they won, imagining comebacks, polishing the trophy of being right. But you catch yourself doing the opposite. You build the strongest possible case against your own opinion just to see if it survives. This is called active self-opposition, and it's the exact mental engine behind every major scientific breakthrough in history. Darwin did it. Einstein did it. And if you do it alone, in the quiet, with no audience to impress, your mind is operating on a frequency most people can't even tune into. Think about that for a second. While the world is busy defending opinions they barely chose, you're stress testing yours like a scientist. That's not self-doubt, that's intellectual courage, and it's almost extinct. Number 3, you study your own emotions like data. Anyone can feel angry, anyone can feel anxious, but almost nobody stops and thinks, wait, why this reaction? Why this intensity? Why now? If you've ever sat alone, traced an emotion backwards through your day, your week, your childhood, like a detective following a trail, you're practicing a form of metacognition that most humans never access in their entire lives. You're not reacting to your emotions, you're decoding them. And that single habit separates reactive brains from genuinely intelligent ones more than any IQ test ever could. Most people are passengers inside their own feelings. You're the one reading the map. And once you start seeing emotions as signals instead of storms, something shifts. You stop being controlled by the very thing controlling everyone else. Number 4, you quietly rewrite your own past. Not the events, the meaning. Highly intelligent people don't revisit old memories for nostalgia. They revisit them for upgrades. That awkward thing someone said to you in 8th grade, you suddenly understand it differently at 30. That advice you ignored at 22, you finally see what it meant at 35. If you've ever been alone, washing dishes or driving home, and out of nowhere thought, oh, that's what that was actually about. That's not random. That's cognitive flexibility. Your mind isn't just storing information. It's actively reorganizing your entire life story in the background, like a writer editing a novel that keeps getting better. Number 5, you're obsessed with things that give you absolutely zero practical benefit. Most curiosity is transactional. People learn things to make money, impress someone, or fix a problem. But you'll fall down a 3-hour rabbit hole on octopus cognition, or medieval bread, or how the postal system worked in 1847, and you can't even explain why. There's no payoff, no exam, no promotion, just a brain that's hungry. Psychologists call this intrinsic intellectual drive, and it's one of the clearest, most reliable signals of a high-functioning mind. Useless curiosity isn't useless. It's the fingerprint of genuine intelligence. Because here's the secret. Every person who ever changed the world started with a useless obsession nobody understood. Your weird rabbit holes aren't distractions. They're the raw material of a mind that refuses to be average. Number 6. You can edit your own thinking mid-thought. This one is wild. Most people commit to a mental direction and write it straight off the cliff, just out of pure cognitive momentum. They'd rather be consistent than correct. But you'll be halfway through a sentence, even just inside your own head, and suddenly go, wait, no, that's not right. And you pivot. No ego, no flinch, no need to defend the version of you from 4 seconds ago. That's real-time intellectual agility. And here's the kicker. School doesn't teach it. Work doesn't reward it. Society barely notices it. So if you do it naturally, alone, in silence, that habit was built by you, in private, while no one was looking. That's the quiet superpower nobody talks about. The ability to be wrong for 4 seconds and right for the next 40 years. Most people protect their ego. You upgrade your mind. That gap compounds, and eventually it becomes uncatchable. Number 7, and this is the one that changes everything. You enjoy your own mind as company. Not, I'm okay being alone, not, I tolerate solitude, but genuinely, your own thoughts entertain you. A long walk with no phone feels like a luxury, not a punishment. A quiet evening with no stimulation feels like coming home, not boredom. Psychology has a name for this, autonomous cognitive engagement, and studies consistently link it to higher abstract reasoning, stronger emotional regulation, deeper creativity, and, interestingly, a sharper bullshit detector in social situations. Because when your own mind is good company, you stop needing other people's noise to feel okay. You stop chasing distraction. You stop confusing stimulation with thinking. And slowly, without even noticing, you become the rarest kind of person in a world addicted to noise, someone who can actually hear themselves think. Here's the part nobody tells you. These 7 habits don't make you smarter than other people. They make you legible to yourself. They turn the quiet, weird, why am I like this parts of your inner life into evidence. Evidence that your mind has been doing serious work this entire time, even when nothing visible was happening. Real intelligence has never lived on stage. It lives in the kitchen at 2 a.m., on the walk you took alone, in the question you didn't rush to answer, in the belief you were brave enough to argue with. So, if even 3 of these felt like someone describing your own brain back to you, that's not a coincidence. That's a pattern, and patterns mean something.